my name is Megan. Welcome back to my channel, Megan Chown Vlogs, where I talk about fitness, travel and dogs. Today I'm filming a Q&A because I've reached 500 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm very excited about. So thank you very much if you are a subscriber. I posted on my Instagram, I'm sorry about the lighting, like the windows there, which is obviously why this side is brighter and the sun keeps going in and out. It's just a bit of a situation. What if I rotated myself? Hang on.
Some time later.
Okay, we're back in the initial position. I rotated it, it was no better. So I put a question thing on my Instagram, which is linked below, asking me any questions that you want to know about anything, so fitness, travel, dogs, or anything in general. So if you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. It's very nice to meet you. I'm just going to be jumping straight into the questions, and at the moment my videos are like halfway through my summer travels. So my Thailand videos have just finished and my Australia videos will be starting next. So I'm going to split the questions up into travelling questions, fitness questions, and then just like random questions. This lighting! Right, well this bit's just gonna keep going lighter and darker. I'm gonna start off with travelling questions. Someone has asked, how many countries have you been to? Do you have a favourite? So I use the app Visited, it's called, on the iPhone. Oh, I just realised I can lean against my sofa. We love that for my core strength. And it says that I have visited 44 countries in the world. I would say I probably have top 3 that I'm gonna talk about. So New Zealand, so I went to New Zealand in 2018 and I just really loved the vibes there. It was like outdoorsy vibes, there weren't many people there, the landscapes were beautiful. I was also training for my first marathon when I was there, so we did lots of running, which was beautiful. Also Peru, so Peru was the first country I went to outside of Europe. I went on my medical elective in 2013, so in medical school you can do 8 weeks of medicine anywhere in the world, and I went to Peru and it's just beautiful. So I went back in 2018 and I just love it there because like it's like my first travelling experience. It's so beautiful there. Like there's like, obviously there's Machu Picchu, and then there's Rainbow Mountain, there's like Umantai, all the Sacred Valley is beautiful around Cusco. I want to go back and visit more of Peru because I've basically just done like Cusco, the jungle, Lake Titicaca area. So yeah, definitely Peru. And also Australia. So I went to Australia this British summer and it was just, I just wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. I just really like the vibes there. They're very like more sporty, things happen earlier in the day, which is kind of my vibe. It's more outdoorsy again. I am actually already planning a return, so my answer to that question is I have 3 favourites. Next travelling question. What's the scariest experience you've had whilst travelling? I actually think it was when I went to Peru the first time in 2013. As I said, it was my first time outside of Europe and I was on my own. Like I was with an elective company, but I travelled on my own there. And we were taking a night bus from Cusco down to La Paz in Bolivia. And there'd been on the news around the time, there'd been night buses that had like broken down, that had been like robbed in the middle of the night, that had like fallen off cliffs and stuff like that. And I think it was my first ever experience of getting a night bus. Anyway, we broke down in the middle of the night, like 3 AM, and the bus driver had to get out his toolkit, and I was just like, oh my word, like this is where I die. Like we're in the middle of nowhere, in a country in South America, we're halfway between Peru and Bolivia. So that was probably the scariest. Like I've had some pretty scary flights because I hate flying and the turbulence has been bad, but I'd say that was probably the scariest. I've been lucky that like I've not had anything else scary happen, like, you know, people attacking me or anything like that. I generally like try to keep myself as safe as possible, but I know some things can't be avoided. But I would say that bus journey. The next question related to travelling. What travel insurance do you have for long trips? So I used to have Halifax travel insurance with my Halifax bank account, but I've changed banks now. So I have Virgin travel insurance because I have asthma, so I have to declare it as a medical condition, and obviously that puts up the price of insurance. but I use their Virgin, is it like gold or platinum? Basically like the biggest cover you can get travel insurance wise. You can then be out of the country for 94 days at a time. You can go however many times you want in a year, but only 94 days at a time. So if you come back like on day 93 and then go again on day 95, it resets. And I think it was about £130 for the year, but that doesn't include USA and Mexico, and I'm hoping to go to Mexico next summer, so I'll have to like change my insurance, but that is who I am with at the moment. Next question. Best thrift experience in all your travels. The person that asked me this, we were on a Whitsundays trip together, and we went to like a little market in Early Beach afterwards, and I got a couple of rings. However, I think they turned my fingers green, which wasn't ideal. Was this from Whitsundays? No, this is from Bali. I personally really like I love markets and go to markets. I would say Spanish markets are really good. So we went to Spain quite a bit when I was younger, and the like local markets, they have clothes stores with like €1 and €2 clothes for sale. So I was actually in Spain last week, and we went to the markets there, and they had a €1 store with clothing on it, and I got a pair of, they're not denim, but they look like denim shorts, and it was literally €1. They will fit once I've lost a little bit of weight, because I haven't really been exercising much, which I'll come on to. And I got a few tops as well. So I'd say markets in Spain. Like, I can't think of a specific item of clothing apart from the shorts I got the other week. But yeah, I would say check out the local markets, because they've got like rummage stalls with like €1 clothing on. And then the last travel related question is, do you speak any other languages? So I am very lucky in that my mum is a languages teacher, so we grew up like in an environment where other languages were spoken in the house. I speak Spanish, like not fluently, but I have signed up to Lingoda. So Lingoda's a online language teaching platform where you have lessons that last an hour, and they're taught by people who speak the language fluently. I've personally signed up to a sprint session, a sprint package, where if you have a lesson what works out to be every other day for 2 months, then you get half your money back or credits towards further sessions. I haven't started it yet. It starts on the 8th of October, I think, and then the sprint goes on for 2 months. So I'll let you know how that goes. But my aim is, as I mentioned, I want to go to Mexico next summer. So my aim is to be fluent by the time we're in Mexico. I can easily have conversations with people in Spanish, not necessarily always in the right tense, but that probably goes for my English as well. But I just want to be able to speak it sort of like without thinking, is my aim. I speak minimal French. I've got a GCSE in French, but we didn't really learn it to talk it, we learned it to pass the exam. So like I can get by in French and understand it fine, but speaking it is a bit of an issue. I can get by in Italian because it's really similar to Spanish. And I know important phrases like, do you have any gelato that doesn't have lactose in? Like those sort of important questions. Other than that, like German, I know enough to understand like where the exit is in a train station, and you know, can read basic ingredients and things like that. But yeah, Spanish is my main one. Next, I'm moving on to fitness related things. Someone asks, what are your fitness plans now you're back from traveling? Running is like my main form of fitness, and I have been quite a speedy runner for me in the past. However, I did have a broken foot, unfortunately, in 2021, and I absolutely haven't got my fitness back from like I'm not anywhere near the speeds that I used to run. But I did get some fitness back and was running regularly last year, but then went travelling for 3 months and barely ran, so there's that. And I also need to do strength work, which I don't find that interesting, but it means that my bones are stronger and my muscles are stronger, so I'm less likely to get injuries. So because of that, I want to take like a hybrid approach to my training. I follow Natasha Ocean on YouTube and Instagram, who is a gal who has a PhD in something sciencey, and she also does training plans. So I have bought her hybrid training plan, which involves like a hybrid, so it's a mixture of running and strength work, and depending on what you have more tendency to do, that's what you do more. So it's 5 sessions a week. I personally will be doing 3 running and 2 strength sessions. I actually have my first session back at the gym after I'm filming this, so I'm not looking forward to it, but I know it will benefit me. So that is what I'm going to try. I will, hopefully, if I get to the end of it, be doing a review on it. So we shall see. I've got park run tomorrow as well, so I'm running from my house to park run, which is like a 1.5 miles-ish, and then doing park run and then running back. So I'm going to be getting back into it again, but it's always painful when you start, isn't it? It's always painful when you start. I'm aiming to do a 10k on Boxing Day that I did last year, and will hopefully be quicker than I was then. Like slightly fitness related. You always seem busy studying, working and exercising. How do you stay motivated? So I am not always motivated, as you can tell by me moaning about going to the gym. However, I'm very much like a fan of like tick boxes. So it probably goes back to like junior doctor days where you have like a jobs list and work through it and tick it. I used to have like a paper bullet journal, but now I've put it onto my iPad. I just make a to-do list each day. If I'm really busy, I'd like block out time and do it by hours. But the point is, I'm not always motivated to do stuff, but it's like the discipline that needs to be there for the days when you're not motivated, because you ain't going to be motivated to do stuff all the time. Like when I was marathon training, I had like runs that were 20 miles long in training, and they took like 3.5 hours. If it's canning it down outside, you don't want to go for a 3.5 hour run, but you're like, no, I need to like go out and do this. So I think, you know, unless you're ill or injured with regards to like exercise and stuff, just go out and do it. Like if you've assigned yourself what you want to do, just go out and do it. And also I think with work, like I always find it hard to get started on things, but I'm like, just do it for 20 minutes. You will be fine, just do it for 20 minutes. And then usually at the end of that 20 minutes, I'm like into the swing of it and it's fine. So I'd say discipline over motivation and just start things. Oh, also put your phone on do not disturb, and then you can't get distracted by dogs on Instagram. So then I have like the category of like random other questions. Other than looking at dogs on Instagram, what do you do for entertainment? YouTube, reading, music, etc. So a lot of my time is spent looking at dogs on Instagram in my free time. I don't get on board with this doom scrolling thing. I follow so many spaniels on Instagram that I don't feel sad when I look at them. I do play music, so I play the flute in church, and I've got a piano in my house, so I use that to chill out. I watch a lot of YouTube, so I have a Netflix account, but I don't watch that much on Netflix. I don't have a TV license, so I don't watch TV. But I mainly watch YouTube, so like traveling content, fitness content, stuff like that. Hanging out with friends as well. I just like exercising as well, like being outside, taking the doggos for a walk, things like that. Someone asked, when are you coming to London? So the person who asked this, we were on an Uncle Brian's tour together in Cairns. So if you're ever in Cairns, I would highly recommend doing the Uncle Brian's tour. It takes you to Cape Tribulation, Daintree Rainforest and Atherton Tablelands, and it's just beautiful. It's a really fun time. So we went on the overnight trip, we had a good time. And I made a friend there who lives in London, and we just got on really well. We didn't spend that much time together, but I just felt like we clicked, we were buddies. If she's watching this and she's like, no, then that's awkward. But I feel like we were friends. Anyway, I need to go down and see her in London so we can spend more time together. We're potentially going back to Australia together next year. In answer to your question, I don't know when I'm coming to London, but I have not forgotten and I absolutely want to come to London. There's so many food choices in London as well. What is your favourite film? So I think my favourite film is Matilda. I love it. It's been my favourite film for years and years. Feel good. Love me a feel good film. I still haven't watched the musical. I watched like half of it on the way out to Thailand and then just haven't watched the rest, so I need to watch that. One of my home friends says, no question, just love this for you. Thanks, buddy. And then she was like, oh no, actually I do have a question. If you had to choose one, Diet Coke or gravy? So I was actually discussing this with Rhiannon and I was like, do you know what, I think Diet Coke. But I feel like you can, like, probably the main thing I get from Diet Coke is the caffeine, and I'm like, you can get caffeine from so many places. However, gravy is just a beautiful thing. So I would probably have to choose gravy. It just goes on like so many different types of potatoes, Yorkshire puddings. Just be careful when you take it out of the microwave though, because it can explode. And then the final question, which isn't really a question, more of a comment. Congrats on the 500. Remember us when you're famous. Thank you for that comment. I love that. So those are the questions that I got. If you have any other questions about anything, please drop them down below. I will be continuing with the travel content. I'm going to be alternating between like long form and short form content to mix it up a bit. And yeah, I'm off to the gym now, so I accidentally ate a double portion of pasta at lunch. You know when you make 2 portions and then you accidentally eat them both instead of saving them for later? That happened, if I'm honest. I've got a lot of energy to burn off in the gym. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.